It is not a point of order.
I have
not
not
a point of
recognized
order.
you.
2 points that I want to raise. There are 3 languages that were actually used. Afrikaans was used. You never actually had a problem with that. Now, when issues are actually tabled in vernacular, which is a questionable matter, you're actually interfering.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in and welcome back to the channel once again. And if this is your first time seeing this face, they call me Mr. J, and we are proudly motherlanded on here. I want us to talk about something real quick, and we are still gonna talk about the whole South Africa and Nigeria situation, which is pretty much everything we see online these days, and I do hope that it will come to an end someday. But before we do get started, I want you to please think about being part of the family, because we are going to be dropping vlogs every day like I told you guys, and we are going to discuss issues affecting our continent, because as a true son of the soil, it is my duty. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to talk about colonized people. Yes, let me repeat that. Colonized people. Decades ago, man, Europeans came to Africa, and they fought, they killed, they treated the people of the land dishumanely, and they imposed themselves on the people, their culture, their traditions, and their way of life. And fast forward, it seems as if in 2024 we still have some of these colonized people forgetting actually what is really important to them. And I said that to say this. When you look at what is happening, what is going on between South Africa and Nigerians today, the propaganda, the back and forth insults, the back and forth this and that, you start asking yourself, are our black brothers in South Africa really seeing the bigger picture? Because when I look at everything that is going on, I can easily tell you that I think some of our brothers in South Africa are actually not understanding that they have been brainwashed to a certain level that they forget to understand that whoever is black from motherland, you should be bonding with them. But that has not been the issue though. Over the years, we've seen a whole lot of attacks on foreigners in South Africa, a whole lot of we don't want them here, a whole lot of killings in South Africa, and burning down of foreigners' properties and businesses in South Africa. By who? By the fellow black South Africans. Have you ever asked yourself, have you ever wondered why all of these things are going on? You have not seen actually the white South Africans coming out to, the way our black South Africans are coming out against the Nigerians. Have you ever wondered that why is it that in South Africa, a country being called the Rainbow Nation, we have the black South Africans coming out to attack other blacks around Africa, whereas the white South Africans really, they don't even get involved in a whole lot. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say this. It seems as if our black South Africans, or some of our black South Africans, are actually still under the spell of imperialism and colonialism. That spell that says if you see a fellow black person, you need to hate them because they are coming for your right, they are coming for your birthrights, they are coming for your everything. I think some of them still have these things. Well, let me repeat that, do not take my words for it. There is a video that somebody actually sent to Mr. J and asked me what I felt, and let me, give my own take on it. Now, in this video, you are going to understand how this whole concept of Europeans, the white man, imposing his ways on the black community, the black brothers and sisters in South Africa, and getting a pushback. Now, this video you will see is a situation which actually calls for a deeper reflection by our black South Africans in South Africa as to what is most important, as to who they are supposed to be bonding with and not fighting with. I'm not going to talk too much. I'm going to let you watch this video. Okay? Watch.
Oh, but the same thing happened. Lendo yenzeka
Honourable
ibiyenzeka
Member, you are
izolo.
now, let me put it this way. Honourable colleagues,
No, but we need fanele si
Honourable
understand into
Felicia.
okubana lento yenzekayo namhlanje
Honourable-
yongabi na interpreters.
Honourable
Na izolo
Member,
ibiyenzekile. So
Honourable-
funeka sithini thina sinyanzelekile into yokuba sithethe isingesi. Because yenzekile izolo iyenzeka namhlanje. Into yokubana thina singakwazi uzi-expressa. Kaloku
Honourable
so
Members, order.
makasifumele sithethe languages zethu
Honourable
kaloku yile nto
Member,
siyithethayo.
Honourable Members, order. This matter has now gone far enough. Honourable Niaus, I'm not going to take your point now. I am still on the floor and ruling.
Sudikwa chairperson
Member.
kubunga kubungasiva.
Honourable Member,
Sudikwa chairperson.
I will not allow you to speak if I have not recognized you. If you are serious about the rules,
Uyasihlukumeza kodwa uyazi
serious about the
uyasihlukumeza
rules,
chairperson.
member.
Hayi
Chairperson.
ukuhlukumeza
Then you-
uyasihlukumeza.
Chairperson, I think,
Respect
Yes,
the rules.
Lukumeza.
House. I
think-
have already
I think we
told,
must-
please
Chairperson.
write to the speaker to
Chairperson.
object.
Chairperson, can
Honourable
I
members,
ask- can
I will
ask
not
you-
take any further
No, Chairperson, can
points of order.
it is not a
Member,
point
I
of
have,
order.
member, I have
It's not
not
a point of
recognized
order.
you.
It's not a
I-
point of order.
Then
not a point of
I,
order.
I do not recognize you. It is
Chairperson.
within the rules that I recognize you
I
or not.
think
I'm
you
not
can-
recognizing you
can
now.
you can go as far as you go. 2 points that I want to raise. There are 3 languages that were actually used. It's Afrikaans. There was no interpretation. You never actually intervened on that particular matter. And people who are actually sitting here, it's a violation of the constitution of this country. We are not referring to any rule. I'm referring you to the constitution of this country. That is point number 1. You must acknowledge that English was actually used. The other languages were used. Afrikaans was used. You never actually had a problem with that. Now, when issues are actually tabled in vernacular, which is a constitutional matter, you're actually interfering. That is actually your point of order. And you must actually have respect to our languages. We don't take kind of that. We can't take kind of that. And indeed, we're going to actually take this matter up with your good self because that actually is segregation to our languages, which are actually enshrined in the Constitution and in the Bill of Rights.
Absolutely. Honourable Member, I could not agree with you more. We have 12 official languages. And you were more than welcome to raise a point of order with the
We must
Afrikaans.
tell you, we don't take kind of that
Honourable Member.
attitude towards our languages.
Now, the attitude is not my attitude. I have informed you.
It's definitely your attitude.
Ah.
We don't take kind. Our languages cannot continue to be subjugated and to be undermined like you are actually doing. You must respect that house. You must be honorable. And we are actually pointing it now. We are actually pointing it now. It can't go on like this, not anymore with our languages.
Honourable,
Ladies and gentlemen, you can clearly see that they are having a session, and apparently in South Africa there are various languages that are official, which you can actually use, and they used their own native language, the language that majority of those representatives can relate and understand, and it was an issue for the white South African. Now, prior to this, there was the use of the white South Africans' own language, what we call Afrikaans, and there was not a problem. She was okay with it. But the moment that the native language gets used, she becomes very, very offensive and defensive and saying that, no, I didn't all ask you to use the language. You cannot use the language in Congress. And now, let me just say this. You see the master and slave mentality that is going on? Yes, to think that the master's language is superior to that of the colonized. Do you see the difference? And of course, I like that man because he looks like he is one of the woke ones, the ones who would not tolerate anything. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you, now imagine that you went to a European country, let's say Eastern European country, and let's say Hungary, and in parliament they speak their local language and you stand up and you object. What do you think would happen? Do you think that you can go to any, the Congress, in Congress in the UK, and you speak your local language, or when they speak English, you wake up and you kick it? What do you think is going to happen? That mindset, the problem that we are having online today within Nigeria and South Africa, that mindset is what some of our South African brothers, especially the black South Africans, that is the mindset in which they are in. They are still in that captivity. They are still in that slave mindset, enslaved people's mindset, which is why they will attack the fellow Nigerians the way that they want to. Now, there is a speech that I watched a while ago of Julius Malema. He was talking about Nigerians. And there was one thing which he said. He said the only reason that you will not see a whole lot of white people in Nigeria is because the Nigerians do not tolerate certain things. Now, when I see these brothers and sisters in South Africa coming out and trying to say things, petty things, immature things, because if you ask me, some of these things are like, primary school, banter. You ask yourself, but why is this person talking to this group of people who know exactly who they are? Do you think that a Nigerian will stand for that nonsense if that was in a parliamentary session in Nigeria? That would not happen. I will end this vlog by saying this. You remember the whole situation of Miss Chidima, a black-skinned sister? They all kicked against, they all cried foul, they all said this, and then guess who won that Miss South Africa? It's a white-skinned European descendant person who won that. So they are very comfortable with that. Like, you didn't even see them protest. You didn't see the black South African come out to say, oh, no, why is she with the... No, they were so happy. Matter of fact, they are so happy that, oh yes, we don't want to see any black-skinned sister from the continent, but we are very okay with the offspring of a European to win our own countries, our lands, Miss South Africa. I will end this vlog by saying this. I want you to leave a comment and let me know. Do you agree with Mr. J that most of our black South Africans are still, their brains, their mindset is still trapped in the cause of these Europeans who actually move, or say the Dutch, because Afrikaans and Dutch sound almost alike? I want you to leave a comment and let's have this conversation. Let's keep pointing out this conversation. Maybe our brothers there will start realizing that there's no point attacking every black African that comes to your country to try to better themselves, but to work together. I mean, we keep calling for peace, and I hope that at some point all this mess is going to end. I mean, from me to you, be good, be nice. Peace.